Hey guys, thanks for joining in. Got a couple people in already, it looks like. I've been out on the river a lot lately, the last couple days and weeks, and Steelhead are still in. They've been in for a few weeks now, and right now you'll see more Steelhead caught than you will kings, but it's pretty good right now still. The water's a little brown right now and muddied up from all the rain. I can hear the rain right now. It's coming down pretty good outside, but I doubt you can hear it on stream. But the weather has been late this season, but we're still grateful that we're getting the rain that we needed all along. So just gonna get started with some hooks here and get tying some flies. I am real low in my fly box now. There's probably more flies that I picked up along the river and off snags from other people and pulling off a fish than I have actual flies that I've tied on here. So gonna have to refill that. I don't like using garbage flies, but I do like picking them up. Yeah, so I think Steelhead will be great all through November, and probably then taking a little break until like closer to like February, March. But yeah, you should be able to get some Steelhead around Thanksgiving for sure. Like I said, there's a lot in the river right now, and there's not that many people anymore. The weekends might be a little busy, but you should be able to get into some Steelhead, I think, depending on where you go. I mean, I like the lower portion of the river, but by this point in the season, they're probably spread out pretty good. So, good question, and I don't know. I'm going to keep fishing throughout November, so I'll let you know if you keep an eye on the channel here. But yeah, forecasting, I think Thanksgiving should be still pretty good. It's going to be a lot colder, that's for sure. These past 2 weeks, the temps have dropped pretty dramatically. The water temps are still coming down. They are in, the last time I checked, it was like 51 degrees Fahrenheit. I know some people say their preference for Steelhead is 40 degrees Fahrenheit in the rivers and in November, and that's usually when they come up. So if you're one of those folks, let me know, and I'll keep updating with the temperatures. I like Longbridge personally, but that's just like my go-to spot. I haven't fished Steelhead for in the sportsman hole, but it's a pretty good spot in general. And then also I like up in like the Trestle and Altmar area. It's pretty good up there too for Steelhead, in my opinion. But there's been a lot of work in the river up there and at the Trestle this summer, so people just got to be careful. There's a lot of holes in the gravel that if you don't see it, you could easily fall in over your head in water without even knowing it, which would be a very bad day and very dangerous day for anyone that does that. I hope that does not happen to anyone on the river this year. But we'll see. Time will tell. It'd be a shame if someone got hurt. What color should I tie first? Do a couple colors tonight, but I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Steelhead, you just got to treat it a little different. They'll actually like bite as a feeding source and not just a source of aggression like salmon do. And there's different ways to fish them. You could fish floats, you could fish center pins, you could fly fish, you could spin fish. I mostly do fly fishing and spin fishing with flies that I tie, essentially. But really, I usually just do dead drifting or Euro nymphing, stuff like that is my preferred way to catch them. And but you can look up many different ways, and even like the steelhead fishermen out west, they have pretty good methods of steelhead fishing, and you can check out videos on that all over YouTube on how to do that. I've tried float fishing before, but I just didn't end up liking it. I don't know, it just felt weird to me. So I moved on and just continued what I was more familiar with, which growing up as a small stream trout fisherman, that is nymphing. So just personal preference. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's cool. I haven't gotten into that yet, but I did. I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. No, it was last week. I caught a fairly fresh female king, surprisingly, and I didn't know this late in the season that they would still be all egged up, but she was, and I decided to keep her and keep the eggs. I've only kept 2 kings this year, and that was one of them, and she had eggs, so thought I'd give it a try, see if I can cure some on my own. So that's good. Stoneflies, yeah. So my go-to pattern, I'm not gonna lie, is a sexy waltz worm. Even for steelhead, I'll use that a lot. I like using the salmon egg patterns because they're, they're more like what people use around here. But you can use anything, like anything you would use for trout fishing, you can use for steelhead fishing in the winter. You just, like, obviously you're not going to want to use something that is not like on a hatch chart. We're not dry fly fishing for steelhead. Not to say that that's impossible, I don't know, I've never seen it. But there's no like dry fly hatches going on right now. But really, like any nymph you can do. I've hooked into steelhead with ant patterns after like heavy rains. Ants fall into the river. They've hit it. I've never landed one on an ant pattern, but yeah, stoneflies are really good. I prefer black stones over any other color, but golden stones will work. They'll all work. So I'm just going to tie a bunch of these, and then I'm improvising on my glue tonight because I don't have any more head cement, and I just realized I got to order more. So I got a liquid super glue pen. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're going to try it because if you don't super glue, I actually have an example here. This is from this season. While I was fishing, all of the egg pattern just slid around and came off, and that's because I didn't glue it. So yeah, no problem. Like I said, tie what you like. I like tying these salmon egg patterns. They're super easy to tie. And I have a box of sexy waltworms in different colors and sizes and hooks, and it's like 100 of them, so I don't need to tie any of those. But I am running low on the egg patterns, so I'm tying more egg patterns this season. But I will use the sexy waltz worm as well. when I'm fly fishing. Yeah, blop. Sorry if I don't know how to say that, but we'll go with blop. When it's high like this, the biggest tip I give people usually is to kind of get out of the mindset of where you're usually used to fishing and look to fish more closer to the bank than you normally do. I don't know how many times I've seen people like wading out in the high water and muddy water, and like, for one, it's dangerous this time of year whenever the releases get big, but also like the fish are right at your feet. It's like, not only is it fast for you to wade through, but it's harder on the fish to swim up. So they're going to take it easy on themselves and they're going to push closer to the banks. So just change up your habits a little bit when fishing in high water. Also, with muddy conditions, I tend to use black or darker patterns of flies, and that can even apply to like these salmon eggs too. Like, I'll use a darker, like a red, like instead of using like my normal like yellow or Oregon cheese favorite color, I'll use like a red, like a dark red like this. The muddy water, it's going to change what your fly looks like underwater, but darker patterns seem to be more effective in my opinion, if that helps. But how'd you do on the river today? Where were you at? I only made it to the river today in the evening for about 20 minutes before sunset. Or, no, when I got there, the sun had already set. I only had 20 minutes left of fishing hours, which is 30 minutes after sunset. So, but I got one king, and I broke off on 2 other fish. I didn't get to see what they were, but they were probably big kings in fast water, and the one snapped me off immediately, and the other went downstream right away and snapped off like 50 yards later. So, below the staircase. All right. Yeah, that's usually pretty good right there. Especially that spot between those two big rocks. They hold there a lot in the high water. That's where I was at the last time I was at the staircase. Went down there, but the water wasn't so high then. That's good though. Yeah, I wish it was a little better. Nice. It's always good to see some steelies running up. Course, but yeah, I've been getting into some steelhead. It's been my best year for steelhead so far. Oh no, what happened to my phone? Looking for the phone. Don't know what happened there. All right. We're back. Just gotta get it reset up here. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. What pound test am I using for my leader? I actually keep my 15-pound main on for salmon and steelhead season usually, but your main line is less important than what your leader is For salmon, I've been typically using 12 or 10 pound, but this year with the water being so clear, I had to go lower, and for steelhead even lower than that. So when the water is muddy like it is right now, I'll use 8, and when it's shallower and clear, I'll use 6. So yeah, it sounds like you got the right idea there on like sizing of things, and like if you feel you're not getting a good look from a steelhead, go lighter. I mean, the worst that can happen is that you do get a good bite and a good initiation, and then you lose it because your line is too weak. But at least you know that your patterns are working and your techniques are working. It does suck, especially if you get like a lot of steelhead and they just all snap off on you. But I mean, one of these times you might get one on a super light tippet. I mean, you see people catching ginormous fish on super light leaders all the time. So it's not impossible. It's just the steelhead are pretty good at fighting and jumping all over the place. So just the thrill of getting a steelhead on your line is worth it to me. And even if I snap off, it's a story to tell, you know what I mean? So I always carry a couple different sizes of leader on me when I'm on the river. My favorite leader is fluoro P-line. It's just super strong. But like in a pinch, I'll use like Berkeley Vanish just from Walmart or something. I'll just get like the 50-yard spool, like a small box, just to have it. Like I think I usually carry it in my backpack, like that I don't usually get in that often. Just like as an emergency fluoro, if I run out or if I need one real quick. Yeah, man, those leaves hit hard, don't they? They do. I will be fishing tomorrow. I'm meeting up with my great uncle and his grandson. So we're gonna go fishing, and hopefully I can get them into some salmon at least. But if they could get some steelies, they'd be stoked. So I'm gonna try to do that as well. But yeah, we'll be on the river in the morning. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, good luck to you too if you're out tomorrow. Yeah, try to get those leaves in, man. Just stop sending them downstream to the guys beneath you. Pick them out one at a time. But yeah, the leaf fall has picked up dramatically. And like right now, the river's washing all the leaves that have been on the ground along the bank too, just because it's picking up extra stuff along the surface. But I mean, it's fishing. The leaves will go soon. By the end of the month, the leaves will be gone. I would say not the end of this month. Sorry, I keep forgetting that it's not November yet. So I'm already in like the November mindset. But the rocks hit pretty hard too sometimes, but I don't know. I feel like the leaves hit harder because the rocks, like, I'm kind of expecting, but the leaf is like a one and done kind of hit, and it honestly feels like a bite sometimes. And you set the hook and a leaf just comes flying out of the water. But yeah, I mean, rocks are pretty good too. It's just they usually stay in one place, which also can be confusing with fish, because I mean, we've all caught fish that probably felt like rocks, and we start moving our line around to get it out, and it starts moving left or right. So yeah, I know what you're saying for sure. Definitely. Where is the end of this thing? There it is. Yeah, and about the drag, like that's good. I always start, I do a lot of like on the fly drag adjustments. But like always start light and tighten as you need to go, or tighten as you go. So I usually start with a pretty light drag, something that can easily be pulled out by hand on the reel. Nothing crazy. And like the worst it can do, it's the fish is going to go upstream with you a little bit on a light drag, which I always prefer anyway. I usually let them go upstream a little bit until I get to a spot that I think is easier to land the fish, and then I'll tighten the drag just a little bit, just to kind of like make everything secure and like, I don't know. And then if it goes downstream and there's a bunch of fishermen around, like I'll tighten it all the way and usually just break it off. Unless it's like a steelhead. For a king, I'll 100% do that. No king is worth me fighting through a bunch of people to land it, and then also like they're scavengers, man. They see you catch a king and they're like, oh, there's got to be 50 fish in that fishing spot, and they'll just take your spot all of a sudden. So I'll usually just snap off on the king if it starts going downstream really far. Unless there's no one around, of course, and then I'll have fun with it, you know, because kings are the most fun to fight. The big ones, anyway. Yeah, it is big money. Yeah, like I said, some of those rock fish there, they can surprise you like that, just like that. I assume you're going to like, you were getting closer to like jostle it out or something, and then, oops, and then it took off. That's funny. You really got to secure this down with this first loop. And sometimes your hook comes loose out of the vise, but this was the very first fly tying vise I've ever gotten years ago, 10 years ago, actually maybe more than that. Yeah, it was a little bit more than 10 years ago. It was when I started tying. It's the cheapest kind of vise you can get right here. Does great though. I prefer all my flies to have a bead head on them. It's just a good counterbalance, I think, for the bend of the hook. Just a personal preference. But yeah, I've always wanted to get into center pinning too, but at the same time, it's like there's so many people in the salmon river that I don't know. I don't want to be that guy with the center pin that just floats a quarter mile downstream past 100 people. Like, as long as you're not that guy, then yeah, go for it. I'm not going to do the super glue until the end. Yeah, I always go to Whitaker's too. That's my my go-to for materials. But I've also, so this brand here, they're pretty good beads. They got like the taper, so it's the thin part in the front and then a wider base at the bottom. And they're super cheap on Amazon. So if you ever want to look at a bead, look for PFC tungsten beads. They're pretty good. But yeah, every time I go to Whitaker's, I usually spend like $50 or more. I think this season I went in because I needed some more yarn. I needed some 140 denier yarn for these patterns because I like 140 over 70 just because it's stronger. And I only went in for yarn, and I left with a bunch of stuff. Probably over $50, like I said. Yeah, hang on. Let me get it. Prime Fishing Company. Drift all the way down from Sportsman to the Long Bridge. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, hopefully you got the screenshot. If not, you should be able to go back in the video, and then once it posts, it usually takes like an hour after the stream to post, but you'll see it on the channel if you need. But yeah, hopefully you got the screenshot. It's hard to tell because I don't know how long the delay is from like when I say something to when you get to react to it. But I kept it up there for a good bit. Alright, sweet, you got it. Excellent. I also, I think Wednesday morning, before I had to go to work, I caught a steelhead at first light, or like 30 minutes before sunrise. It was on like the second or third cast, I think. It was a nice one, and if I can get the steelhead over the legal limit, I'll typically keep them just because I enjoy freezing them and eating them throughout the year. So this one was a keeper size. I kept it, put it on the stringer, and then tied it to like longer rock that had a little notch in it. I've done this before plenty of times, no problems. It was good for like 30 minutes, and then I got on another fish, and as I was walking past where my stringer was, it was gone. It's like, what? I looked around, like, I thought like maybe he swam around a different rock or something, and it was just gone. Completely, like, without a trace. Lost the steelhead and the stringer. The rock was gone. Everything was gone. So if you, I walked around and tried to find it for like 30 minutes, tried asking other people if they've seen it floating by. No one's seen it, so I had no idea where it was, and eventually had to leave for work. But if you see a yellow stringer floating around on the Salmon River, you could get yourself a free steelhead. Someone probably already grabbed it by now, to be honest. But I feel bad for losing it, but I mean, what can I do? You live and you learn, and I'll just have to secure it better next time. Can't go back and change it now. No, it wasn't even the biggest steelhead I've caught this year, but I don't know. I mean, the water was moving pretty good, so it might have just caught the current and went downstream somewhere, but I walked a good distance down and didn't find it. I mean, you know how steelhead are, though. Like, if they want to go, they're going to go. That thing could have went all the way down to past the black hole. But, yeah, or the Russians took it, one or the other. I mean, everyone said they didn't see it, and I didn't see anyone picking up random stringers out of the water, so I don't know. We'll see. It's just kind of sad and also kind of funny at the same time. Alright, we did white and yellow now. We're going to do blue. A little light blue, sky blue. That took a lot longer than it needed to take to get out. I think my body's starting to tell me it's time to go to bed soon. You know, I got a lot of stuff yet to do. Coho and a king. Did he like catch the fish and it came with the other fish? That'd be pretty cool. Play the lottery. I've seen a whole stringer of 3 fish go downstream before, and me and my buddy helped grab it for the guy. It was an older guy, so he couldn't really be as mobile as he wanted, so we helped him out. But it was three beat up nasty kings. I wouldn't have kept any of them, but do what you want to do, man. Maybe he was keeping it for dog food or something. I don't know. I'm not one to judge. And I mean, I've eaten kings too, so it's not like they're not edible. It's just they're not nearly as good as the cohos and steelhead. Oh man, my camera is way out of focus. He caught this stringer. Oh, nice. There we go. That's funny. Did he find the person that lost the stringer, or I don't know. Maybe no one was looking for it at that time. Yeah, definitely smoke them if you got them. I don't have a smoker, so that's why I tend not to keep them unless they're fresh anyway. But I had a friend that lived up here, and he had a smoker, and he loved smoking meat all the time. So I worked out a deal with him one year that I would give him my salmon to cook in his smoker, and for smoking them for me, he could keep half of it. So I'd keep one fillet, he'd keep the other. It was pretty good negotiation, I think. It was worth it. I got some smoked meat, and I didn't have to work for it, and he got some free salmon out of it, and he got to do what he loves doing on the weekends. So I think it was a pretty good deal for both of us. But he had to move now, so he lives out in Washington now. So James, if you're out there, hope you're smoking those Washington West Coast salmon now. I'll have to reach out to you soon to see how you're doing. Yeah, no one was looking. Yeah, I mean, after 2 hours, that's plenty of time for someone to realize that they lost their stringer. They must not have cared too much about it, or they would have walked downstream. Alright, we'll do another blue. Jaleka, is that how I say that? Is that your name, or what does that mean? What is Jaleka? Yeah, I always have two as well. Or at least now I do. I used to only have one. And then this season, the first steelhead I caught this year, I was fishing at the staircase below Longbridge, and I caught the steelhead. It was nice. It was the first one of the season. It was still, I think it might have even been September. It might have been the last week of September. And so like the steelhead was fresh. I go to grab my bag, and that normally has my stringer in it, and it was not in there. I had it laying out of my garage at home because it was pretty smelly, and I forgot to load it back up. So I didn't have a stringer at all, and I was like, oh no. So I had to improvise, and so I took my pliers that I have, my fishing pliers, they're attached to like this cable. It's like one of those coated metal cables, and it's only like 20-30 inches long, but I took my pliers off of it and I strung up the steelhead on that, just as a last minute thing. It was not ideal, and now I always have two stringers on me just because of that. But right now I only have one because I lost my yellow one this week. Oh, Justin. Okay. Cool, Justin. That's good. I haven't seen you on the stream here before, so I want to make sure that I'm gonna remember your name if you ever come back for the next one. And like you said, if you're coming up in Thanksgiving, I'll have more streams before then. More streams, more YouTube shorts, more everything. So I'll probably have a couple live streams on the river, like I have throughout the season, and then also I'll do some more tying, I'm sure, because I'm losing flies left and right now with the high water. So you're welcome to come back anytime. And if you see me out on the river, say hi. I'm always in the mood to talk to people on the river. It's fun. Meeting new people, making new friends out there. Give a little trim there. Good to go. Nice, man. Dude, it gets me excited just doing it, so I can definitely understand that. I just wish this season was a little more natural, I guess, or a little more average than it has been. It's This year was super weird with the low water. I'd never seen nothing like it up here before. I mean, talking to people in the river this year, I've heard multiple people say that it has been this low before, but a lot of people were saying like all the way back to 2012, which was long before I came up here fishing, so, and before I moved up here, of course. But yeah, that's a pretty long drought event between droughts over 10 years. So hopefully next year we don't get another 10-year drought, because I mean statistically it'd be unlikely, but we'll see. The bass fishing's up here is pretty good too. If you go a little further north, the Thousand Islands area in the St. Lawrence River. Got the Bass Masters up here every year. Got tons of walleye fishing in the winter. It's a good time. It's a beautiful place to enjoy fishing up here in upstate New York. Gotta love it. And like I live up in Watertown and the Black River here. It has salmon, but I don't know, it's just kind of weird to fish them. But the Black River has like so many species of fish, it's crazy. You can pretty much catch anything here. And like you will catch a ton of different species, which is always fun, especially in like the late spring, summer period. It's always fun to go out on like the kayaks and stuff. Yeah. I've caught in walleye, but not like the trophy walleye that I see on the Facebook pages around here and stuff. That would be awesome, especially like through the ice. I think that'd be super fun to do. Alright, we got our green, or our blue. I'm going to do pink now. Yeah, the walleye I caught, I think, was like 13 inches maybe, 12 inches. Which, I mean, it was still cool to catch. And I'd never seen a walleye like in person before, so I was like, what is this? My friend told me it was a walleye, so it was fun on the Black River. And ironically, we were salmon fishing at the time, and I caught that walleye. Yeah, the pike fishing up here is fun too. I haven't gotten into musky fishing up here, but I know that a lot of people do, and they love that as well. Yeah, I think catching a salmon out on the lake or even a steelhead would be super fun. You just kind of got to know someone that has a boat, or get a charter, which, I mean, the charters up here are great from what I hear. Never done one myself personally, but the lake charters are really fun from what I see from other people here. So if you really want a salmon, hire a charter service. They'll get you on one. Like late July, early August. That's the best time to do that if you can. But like this year with the low water, they were doing a lot of boat fishing a lot later than normal. All right. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, but that's another thing though. Like, if you what am I saying here? If you get a charter, they'll like show you what you need to do, even if you don't ask. But I mean, I'm sure the charter guys will at least give you like some tips if you ask. Like, I don't know. I would imagine anyway. I don't think that they're gonna just like ignore people with asking simple questions like that. That's always been a bucket list thing of mine too. Like down by the Route 3 bridge, getting salmon on a kayak, that'd be super fun. I don't know how people land them though. I like sincerely don't know how they get them up on the kayak, just with how big they are. And like, I have a sit on top kayak. It's like nothing expensive or anything, but I have no idea how I would be able to catch a salmon. I mean, I'd be able to fight a salmon. I don't know how I would be able to land it. Maybe I would just have to tire it out to the point where it just gave up, and then I like don't bring it out of the water and just let it go that way. I don't know. But yeah, that would be super fun. Yeah, true, but like, where are you gonna put the net? I don't know. If you ever get a chance to do that, you gotta let me know, because I want to know how you do it. And anyone else out there, like, how do people catch salmon on kayaks? Because I'm interested. I say that, but I've never actually tried it, so. Just because fishing the rivers are so fun, like, I don't have time to go to the estuary. Alrighty. We're gonna cut the stream here in about 10 minutes, just as a forewarning. Justin and anyone else out there, if anyone else out there who's being quiet has any questions, all you gotta do is have a YouTube account to post comments. I don't have any restrictions on subscribers posting or anything like that. So if you have a question and you don't have an account, just set one up real quick and link your Google account or do whatever you gotta do, and then post a question, or you can post it afterwards. I get all the notifications from comments, and I usually respond within 24 hours on all my different types of videos. But no, Justin, I actually don't. I am like the worst person at social media ever. Like I only have Facebook, and like people call YouTube a social platform, but I don't really see it as a social platform. Yeah, I only have Facebook, and I really only use it for like the fishing groups around here and Facebook Marketplace too. So that's really all I do. So sorry, no Insta or Twitter or anything like that. X, whatever you call it. I am a no socials kind of guy. Yeah, you can add me on TikTok, but I probably just need to remove it from the page here, because I haven't used it in probably 2 years, and I haven't even, I should say, I haven't posted anything for probably 2 years. I haven't even logged in for probably over a year. So yeah, man, it's all about those marketplace deals. Can't tell you how many good things I find on Marketplace, man. It's good stuff. I love that stuff. The stuff you can find on there is sometimes better than the real deal. I just hate all the freaking scammers lately. Every year it's like more and more scammers out on Facebook. You just gotta be careful, like, be smart, don't give away personal information unless you absolutely have to, but even then, like, when I meet up with people, I meet in a public place usually, and like, I don't mess around with that kind of stuff. So, whoa, sorry, oops. Nice. Yeah, that's a lot. Do you put your cameras on like state land, or do you have private land? I grew up on a farm and we had 32 acres of private land with some really good deer hunting on the property. But like, I know around here there's a lot more state land than anything. Mostly state. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, I see a lot of big bucks being shot out here. I have to drive on 81 all the time, and there's so many deer on 81. But yeah, I'll actually be in the Albany area Saturday. One of my sons has a hockey game in Schenectady and Albany. There's like double headers, essentially. So I'll be down there for a little bit, do some fishing probably after the game. Games, I should say. My boys love going fishing out on the Salmon River too, so they will enjoy that as well. I haven't been hunting recently. I'd like to get back into it, but it's just a lot easier to go fishing, and I do so much of that it preoccupies my time. So we'll see. Oops. Alright. Kind of messed that one up a little bit, but it'll be alright. Everyone's got to have ugly flies out there in their box too. This will be an ugly. Fishing takes up most of your time. That's good. I've never been fishing down in the Albany area. Where's your go-to for there? Without like spot burning or anything. You got like a favorite lake or anything? Or you just like coming up here to Salmon River whenever you get a chance? Alright, this will be the last fly right here. This is number 10 for the stream in 1 hour. Good 6 minutes per fly. I can do it faster, but I'm not in a rush, so these 10 will hold me over until next week at least. I have a buddy coming up this weekend, and my great uncle and his nephew are coming, so I'm sure we'll burn through some of these flies, and because I give them away and stuff to the people that come up fishing with me, so they have some diversity in their patterns and whatnot. But this will hold me over for a few days. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I haven't, I grew up in central Pennsylvania, and the trout fishing there is like really good, for like the streams and stuff, but here I haven't gotten into it as much. This summer I got into some in the Adirondacks, which was super fun. I forget where I was fishing even, I would have to look it up, but it wasn't the West Canada, it was the other trout fishing stream in the Adirondacks. But super fun. I was getting a lot of dry fly hits on some like big sulfur flies, so that was fun. I hit, like, the one morning I hit a little bit of a hatch, so like I had a blast catching all these brown trout. But still haven't like figured out the trout fishing up here, I would say, other than like the big species here on the Salmon River. Caught a nice brown the other day. I'll show you a pic here in a second. I mean, it'll be a low quality picture because it's on my phone, but I'll show you here in a second. West Canada River in the Adirondacks. It's got wild brown trout, and I think they stock it too. But that wasn't the river that I was fishing. I know that one was nearby, but I can't remember the name of the river that I was actually fishing. But there were only like 2 that I found online that were like advertised as trout fishing streams. West Canada was one of them, but this other one is where I went, and I had a lot of success there, so I didn't leave it. Super fun. It was July 4th weekend, the day after 4th of July, I think. But that's like my favorite type of fishing, is fly fishing for trout. For sure. Alright, just gotta do some gluing now, and I'll do that off stream. But I think we're had a good night of tying here. Appreciate you stopping by, Justin. Yeah, brookies are fun too, so when I went home to visit my parents this summer, I think it was a week after that Adirondacks trip, I got into a bunch of native brook trout in a mountain stream, and yeah, they are super fun. I think I have not posted that video yet though, so maybe I'll get to post that and you'll get to see it here. But here's our flies from this evening. It's kind of hard to see, but we got a good amount of flies, 5 different colors, 2 of each color, which is my normal spread. I just dropped something and I have no idea what it was. But yeah, no problem, man. Just like I said, let me know next time you're up here, and hopefully you have some success this Thanksgiving if you come up. But before you go, check out my brown trout here, and we will see you next time. But check this guy out. Beautiful. Big 25-inch brown trout. Gotta love it. Yeah, just let me know, man. Comment on one of my videos, and like I said, I get all my comments, so that's like an easy way to get a hold of me. But yeah, thanks for joining in, Justin. I appreciate all the questions, and hopefully we both have some good success here coming up for Steelhead. So I'll keep you posted, and have a good weekend. Have a happy Halloween. And I'll see you next time. See you guys.